Okay. Welcome. You're welcome. So she's younger to you. So she has lost that status of being the youngest. She's your super senior from TIS. You know that?
She's my junior.
No, so you are her super senior. No?
I'm her senior.
You're a senior.
And she joined our team.
Good. So welcome everybody. Good afternoon. And this is after a month. I think it's extremely hot outside. I don't know what the temperature is today, but it was 46 yesterday. It's probably 46 today. My day started exactly at 6 in the morning. I came to the Okla, what is the place called? Yeah, where we have running a project. What a refreshing start to a day at that temperature. It is lovely. It's beautiful. I will talk about that a bit later, about what I saw this morning, which should make all of us proud. All of us proud of the fact that we are doing some phenomenal work across this country. Unless you go there, you won't see it. How many people haven't seen a project work of Save the Children in whatever number of years that you've been here, even if it's been just a week? How many of you have not seen a project? Okay, there's one. There's two. Everybody else says? Aap nahi dekha. Three. Are you? You always live out there. Who has not seen? Okay. I'm going to request you. You don't have to go to Bihar, but just go to this Delhi project and see. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Somebody should make that possible. Maybe but HR should do that as a part of the induction. Okay, so yeah, so another month is gone, and we are here together again. And today is a significant, important day because today we are also announcing annual awards. The annual awards for employees, and which have some of you are going to find out soon, probably in an hour or so, who is going to get the functional awards, who is going to get the chairman's awards, and who is going to get the long service awards. Who has completed 5 years of service, and some of that, of course, because if you've been here for 5 years, you know that you're going to get an award. How many of you are here? No, those who have not been recognized last year, and this year they've completed 5 years. By 31st March of 2015, they completed 5 years. How many of you are here? Nobody?
Neha is at home.
Neha is at home?
Working from home.
Okay.
So yeah, she finished
is on leave.
Okay, all the 5 years are on leave today. No, or they're working from home. Anybody here who is finished 5 years and sorry? Where is Dilip? Dilip last year I thought. No. Where is Dilip? Dilip.
She's probably working.
Okay. He's also working from home?
No, he's working from here.
Okay. All right. Let me see all those of you who have completed 5 years who are in this room. Hands. मानव 25 साल हो गया. Okay, Dilip is here. Dilip, we completed 5 years, right? Okay. Later we are going to acknowledge.
Ashutosh right there behind you.
भगीरथ 5 साल हो गया तुम्हारा. 4.8 is this mathematics class or what? Okay, so we are going to recognize and acknowledge people who have completed 5 years as well. So I have one request for you, all of you. Our chairman is going to join us at 5:30, and I would like each one of you to stay until that part of the meeting, which is the annual award ceremony, which I think would probably go for half an hour to 45 minutes. So if you could stay on, I know it's beyond 5:30, it's hot, you would like to run home, and children are waiting for some of you, etc., etc., etc. But if you could stay here, that's one request, it'll be good. Yeah? Okay, so my thoughts for the month. Uh, is there only one person who has joined? Raga, whose roots are in the south. Are you from Chennai or are you from Kerala? You're from Chennai.
My mother is Telugu, but I'm from
Ah, okay. That's interesting. Okay. Is there anybody else who's joined in the last 1 month? You joined? Okay. Anybody?
and
Wow.
Zoya.
There's so many. Okay.
Aman and Zoya.
Okay. Oh, you too. Okay. All right. So let's look at them. Maybe you could just a one-line introduction, apart from your name, where you're coming from, and etc. etc. Just if you could introduce yourself. Yeah.
My name is Neeti Singh. I've joined her as the HR manager. Very happy to be here, and I've come from Magic Bus India Foundation.
And she comes from Faridabad.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's got a 1-year-old
Doctor.
or daughter. Okay, that's good. We would like to see, it's so wonderful to see children in this office, neonates to older ones. So even when we move to Gurgaon, we'd like to see. Today Dada's daughter was here. She
Yes.
she's still here. She's gone. Okay. It's good to see your children. And by the way, we already have a child-friendly space in the new office, and I want it to be a tent. Okay, I want it to be a tent wherein you could just crawl inside, and the children can play, mothers can nurse, and also when their mothers are not nursing or children are not playing, we could use it as a meeting room. There's no furniture in that room. It's going to be those divans and nice cushions and what is it called? That bean bags and stuff. But it's also going to be a meeting room. And I'm fighting with Vivian to get me a tent there, and he's saying no. So now all of you can ask for a tent. He's the culprit if we don't get a tent. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Nidhi. Thank you. Yeah.
So my name is Ganadhar Vyas. I am joining here Tata Analyze Operator, and I am from Uttarakhand.
You're from Uttarakhand. Okay, good. What did you say your name was?
Ganadhar Vyas, sir. Gajadhar G.
Gajadhar. Okay, good name. Yeah.
My name is Aman. I'm from Delhi itself, and I used to work in an NGO called Udyogini, and I've joined the institutional partnerships team here.
Excellent. Okay.
I'm Anis. I joined as the project coordinator in SNL.
Project called
Project coordinator in SNL.
SNLT. Are you a doctor? Medical doctor.
Yes.
Okay.
I
PDF.
graduated masters in public health management.
Ah, very good. Welcome. Yes.
Hello everybody, I'm Zoya Siddiqui. I was working with Navjyoti Development Society prior to this, which is a partner of Save the Children. And I joined the institutional partnerships team last week.
Welcome.
I am Prerna. I am from Pune originally, but I was living in the US and working with FTUS. And I joined the DRR team here.
Very good. Very good, Prerna. Okay. Who else?
I am Aditi. Yes, another Aditi. I was working with NTTP earlier, then I was working with a small organization of Kublai, and I'm from Delhi.
Yeah. She powdered me and peppered me this morning for a shoot. Thank you.
She sent you out to the
And also sent me out of my room this morning. Okay, thank you. Now, some interesting policy changes which we are going to talk about. One is that whoever has a birthday in a year will get the day off. I hope you do. People born on February 28th, 29th, they get it only once. Okay. So, anybody? February 29th? No. Okay. So you're all lucky. So you get a day off. Is that good? Okay. Those of you are married and stay married, they have an anniversary they would like to remember, and some of them say that no, we don't want to remember this. You get a day off too. No, sorry. There is a slight catch there. Slight catch there. You can take that day off either on your birthday or on your anniversary day, or divide it into half. Birthday half, anniversary half. That is your choice. Yeah, that's your choice. So that is a policy, one policy change. Those of you work on Saturdays, Sundays, sometimes on holidays, you're supposed to get a compensatory off, and that used to be half a day. We are changing it to 1 day off. Yeah, why not that? Huh?
Mother gets 5
What about me? Okay. So, but and there is a rule which says that it needs to be used in 1 month's time and supposed to be for recuperation, etc., etc. But we are saying that that should be used in 2 months now, not just 1 month. And the other thing is that if your boss or your functional director thinks that no, this person actually couldn't take those 2 days, then we will take it 2 months. We will take it, extend it by 1 more month. We are also working on another policy which we want to announce soon, and that is about right now our leave, the number of leaves that you have lapses exactly at the end of the year. Yeah, if you haven't taken your leave, too bad. It won't be carried on. The reason or the principle of that is what? Why?
Why it won't be carried forward?
Yeah. Why is the principle? What is the principle? You would like to know. Anybody? What's the principle? Yeah. Exactly, to encourage people to have a work-life balance and not be like Manadada.
We should have some punishment for them.
Exactly, we are planning for a punishment for people who don't take leave. Okay, but however, we know the work exigencies and and sometimes it doesn't happen. So we are looking at, which is still not cleared, but we are discussing the possibility of accumulating your leave up to 30 days, and that 30 days you could carry on. But then the next, I mean, if supposing in the 2 years you have accumulated 30 days, or the third year there is another 15 days, that's not going to be added. The limit is 30, and you could carry it on till the end of your time with us. Could be 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, but that 30 doesn't change. Even at the end, you're not going to get a compensation for that 30 days. That 30 days should be taken in a period that you are here. That additional 30 days, because we want people to take leave, and also you cannot exchange it for the notice period. You need to serve the notice period when you go 1 more month. Okay, this is under consideration. This will become a policy when we get some more inputs, and we welcome inputs from you as well as SMT, and then we'll come back to you. So that is another policy change. Office shift, a lot of furious work is going on, and what happens in a Delhi household that my ceiling is leaking because the loo upstairs is leaking. Those kind of problems, if you live in apartments, that happens. In fact, there is a beautiful poem of Ogden Nash, and I am not supposed to be quoting poems because Dipali Nath doesn't like my poems. So yesterday you said that. I don't want to hear that. Okay, Ogden Nash's poem about the leaky roofs and the party that that your neighbor has who lives upstairs, and the lady who walks on stilettos on the night and rolls things, and all those wonderful things you must read. and we have a problem there. Currently, we are giving trouble to the upstairs people because we are drilling, and they say that don't do that while the office hour is on. And then we have a problem with our landlord saying that we won't give you electricity in the night. All that has been sorted out. I'm saying that these are the last teething problems of trying to move into and pushing the work to happen soon. And we are still hoping. We are still hoping. We have time till the end of June here. Definitely 100% before. Otherwise, we would be working out of the streets of Delhi. That's not possible. So we're still looking at between 15th and 20th a move. We got some interesting graphics developed, to see how the inside office should look like. It's all coming up very well. Where is Aditi Mishra, the one who developed our annual report? She's there. Okay. She with external support is actually working on some interesting stuff on the interiors of the two floors. That is on the office shift part. What else? Okay. Anybody from the corporate team here? Who is that? Okay. The corporate team. Are you from the corporate team?
Yeah.
I thought he was from IP.
Yeah, so do we most of the time.
Think so. All right. So we have had some interesting successes in fundraising. Probably one of the largest after the ICIC, which we got as early as 2008, I think. 2009, when Manav Dada got ICICI to give us 9 crores. And we got another very significant corporate fundraising in India, Indian money, and not coming through any of the global funds. This is Vodafone. And it's been a tough negotiation with Vodafone. When Vodafone came and we had several calls with them, several difficult discussions with them when they asked us to almost sign on the dotted line without actually, blindly almost, all those conditions, and we pushed back. And we pushed back and said, no, we will not be subjected to such restrictive clauses. We cannot work like that. And I remember one night, out of my room, I think it was at almost 9 o'clock in the night, we had somebody from the US join us, which was actually our council. And we had the Vodafone council and the Vodafone CEO, Rashmi and I were on that call. And their council almost said that take it or dump it. And very politely and not in the same language, I said, we are dumping it. But in a week's time, they came back and said, okay, we agree. And finally, we signed it last week. Signed it last week. So, and it's a project, it's a wonderful project using technology, using tablets, and using the government of India kind of a framework to be working with the frontline health workers, and it's about 4 or 5 states in the country, I'm told. Two states. 4 locations. 4 locations and 2 states in the country. Work to start soon. It's a 3-year project, roughly about 5 crores. That is Vodafone for you. And you know that many other corporates have been coming in the last 2 to 3 months. The big ones, Reckitt Benckiser, it's a 500 million. Sorry, 4 million. 5 million pounds, which is roughly how much? Conversion rate, 100 rupees for easy calculation. It's a 50 crore project. You know what that project is about, right? Somebody? Wash. It's called something special. Stop Diarrhea project, and we're just rolling it out. Day before yesterday, there was a call from Reckitt asking us, and they gave some 5 crores already last month. Can you just park this 10 crores with you? Isn't that a wonderful news? Yeah. It's not that they're giving it us, it's a part of the project, but they're giving that money in advance. They trust us. We can put that in the bank and use the interest. That's even more wonderful, right? That's great. Another great news. How many of you know about 35 AC?
All of us.
Oh yeah, I sent mails to all of you. But not even one person has replied. Not even one person from our team has replied. 4 members of my board replied. Why is that? Why don't you reply to me? How many of you like to write letters and then get no reply? How do you feel? It's this one-way conversation. How do you feel?
Bad. Disappointing.
Dave, you are the expert in communication. You tell us.
It's of course very sad we don't get replies from long. But on my part, I did wish Shreya today morning. I told her.
Okay. I would like to specially recognize this young woman.
Thank you.
And Shreya Mukherjee, and she was the one who was really arduously following up on that. And let me also tell you something. 35 AC is such a precious asset for any NGO who is fundraising, because a donor gets 100% tax waiver on that, right? And it is precious, and so it is costly in the sense that there is a price to it. In good times, what we call it as bribe to it. People bribe to get a 35 AC. But we didn't bribe. It's only, what did you do if you didn't bribe?
Constant follow-ups. I think he never wanted to hear from me again.
Okay, so he said
therefore
that, let
we
me
got-
get rid of this pest.
Exactly.
This
And 800-page document.
800-page document.
Application and annexes. Gaurav from the finance team who left, he helped me with all the photocopy, putting it together as well. So.
Okay. And I'm sure many other people like the program people, etc., helped you in writing those proposals.
Ray helped
Uh,
with the-
Yeah, Ray, where is Ray today?
Ray's just moved out. He has.
Okay.
Ray has a doctor's appointment.
Ray has a doctor's appointment, so he is. So Ray has worked hard on it. It's another wonderful news that we got 35 AC, and great things are happened. I shouldn't say great. Great response has happened on the back of this terrible happenings in Nepal. For all of you probably know, how many of our people have gone there? Currently, how many are there? Around 8 people. This is the very first time India is responding to a global, well, it is global, though Nepal may look like part of our country, but it's on that border, and government gave us what you call as a tax exemption, so we can actually go and work there. But then, of course, there are other restrictions also. What we are actually trying to do is do a lot of procurement, because SEI is Save the Children International is doing a lot of procurement from India and taking it by road through the road route across to Nepal. So they are spending a lot of money in India, sourcing materials, and we are a part of it as well. I think it's the energy level on Nepal has slightly dipped. Would you agree, Veera? For yourself, sir? The energy level around Nepal from the global, is it still high?
Oh, in terms of the tremors?
No, in terms of the response. In terms of the global interest, global meaning, I'm not saying Save the Children interest, the donor interest. Is it still?
I don't think it's as high as they would like it to be, but
Yeah.
it's still very high.
It's still very
We're
high.
1 month on now.
Yeah.
I think our contribution from the India side has been something like, in terms of the supply chain, about $3 million worth of goods.
Okay. $3 million worth of good, which is roughly about 20 crores, have already been procured from India and it is going through Raxol. Is that the route? Raxol route to, I mean, you know that that border is very porous, and I'm told that there is a 4-kilometer backup of trucks. So it's moving very, very, very slowly to Nepal. So that is overall perhaps that I wanted to share on. And this is time for you to ask questions, comments, clarifications. Say that something that you don't like and something that you like also. Please talk about it. Yeah. You know about the open office seating. Well, last time we talked about some of those. There's not going to be any cabins or cells or jails in that office. It's going to be an open seating. Yeah. In fact, I wanted the seating to be such that nobody gets a seat permanently in his name or her name. But I think SMT said that is not a great idea. So each one of you will get your seat and your corner for you to hang the pictures of your husbands, wives, children, or the teddy bear. You still get that. Okay. Okay. Questions. Somebody said that the question that you don't ask is the stupid question.
Thomas and
Yes.
Seven stupid question.
Yeah.
Because we have quiet corners, so there aren't any cabins.
No.
So are there, if we need if we need a quiet room?
Okay. There are no cigarette corners. Number one. None at all. Not even on CDs.
Good.
If you want to have a cigarette, go down, take a cycle rickshaw, go to the what station is that there? Buda City station, and there is a corner there. Okay. Quiet corners when you want to make a phone call. Sometimes I have these corridors where people come and they think it's a very quiet corner, but I hear every conversation right here. Such rooms, we have some conference rooms that are there, which could be used, but it's not there are not too many of them, but still there could be. I mean, one should use all those facilities. Yeah. Other questions? I want each one of you to ask this. One question. Sorry. Huh? That's a good idea.
You might be here a while.
Okay, Swinda, your question. No? No question. Anything that you are happy about? At least something. At least tell me that. What are you happy about today? Birthday wala chutti. Excellent. What else? What else makes you happy? What makes you?
Friday.
Today is Friday. Yeah. For us, every day is Friday dressing, so it doesn't matter. We have no policy change for that. Okay. Any other question, Deepak? Since you have come in late, you have a question.
Yeah, I'm not coming late.
You're standing outside. You got to ask a question. Anything under the sun. Huh? Think about it. All right. Okay. Don't tell me that you didn't get an opportunity to express your opinion and we were not considered and we were not regarded in this. What do you think of that leave carrying forward policy? Is it good, bad, ugly?
In Kashavar, it would have been much better.
Okay. That is, inputs. That is one input.
Else we can make the leaves compulsory. One has to finish their all the leaves.
That's what is there in the current policy. Yes?
It's compulsory.
Or you need to say that
Must take.
You
Yeah, you
must
must
take
take
it as a
it.
gun on your
Otherwise,
head and say that you must.
You must take it.
Yeah. So if you all right, if you don't take leave, your rating from 5 will come down to 3. Right?
Can be done.
Good idea. Anything else?
Good, but it's the policy you have to take on you.
I would like you to ask questions. Questions. You know, I'm really enjoying. I know we went through lots of people change. 2/3 of the SMT left almost in succession, all of a sudden, making you all believe that they got a terrible boss, and which is not true, actually. It's true? Is it? What did you say? You said something. I didn't hear. Bachi,
Mine was
your boss is good, but don't know about anybody else's boss. Okay, so, but actually, really looking at the organization, that is why I'm saying that, I'm trying, kind of blowing my own trumpet here, or our own trumpet, is that nothing really has fallen through the cracks. The organization is still growing. We're still regarded very highly outside. We still regarded, oh, by the way, I didn't tell you about this. Sunday night, Monday morning, I'm going to South Africa. Do you know why I'm going to South Africa? Okay, you should know that. It's a members meeting. Okay, the members, Save the Children globally is structured as having membership. It's a federal organization with 30 countries forming the membership of Save the Children. And we are one of them. And I won't go back into the story. Maybe at the induction for new people, I'll say how Save the Children India became a member. It's a big story there, and a stronger member, and how we are enjoying our presence in the global arena. We are playing a great role as a global South. India represents. India's voice is needed everywhere. 2 weeks back, I was supposed to be leading on 2 sessions there. This morning, it has gone up to 6 sessions. I mean, sessions mean maybe not a full session, but why are they asking India? Because they like me? They think it's because India, as Save the Children, has played its rightful role. It has a voice that needs to be captured, because whether you like it or not, Save the Children is a Anglo-Saxon northern organization. Okay, and we need to change that, and India has actually moved that needle quite a bit to look at India, look at the South, look at Africa, look at South Asia, and we in fact have done that very, very well, and nothing has fallen through the cracks. Though unfortunate as it is, we've lost people. We are getting great people also to come back and join us, and even more interesting information, where people who worked with us want to come back. Yeah, some people already came back. Why did you leave and why did you come back? Tell them.
Okay. So I went to Australia for my further study. Should I stand? Or?
Your further study?
For my further studies.
Oh, I thought you got married and went.
Yeah, no, not because of that.
Okay.
Married, I was for 1 year.
Okay.
After that, I left for my further studies.
Hmm.
So then I came back. Then since I'd worked with Save the Children, it was such a good organization to work for.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of the employees, in terms of the culture, in terms of everything actually. So that's why I wanted to come back to Save the Children. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Are things better than when you left it? Where you left it?
Yeah,
Yeah?
of course it's growing. The growth is immense. Yes.
Are people still good?
Yes.
They're good to you.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Anybody else who has come back? Interesting. Yes. Why did you come back? You went to also had a story of marriage and went to Bangalore. Bangalore. Okay. Then why did you come back?
I wanted to come back and join Safeguard, so that's why
Left your husband there, or you?
I wanted to come back.
You forced him to come back. Why? How wonderful that is. Yeah.
Sandhya has come back.
Huh?
Sandhya Krishnan has come back.
Sandhya Krishnan, by the way, she's joined as Save the Children's state program manager in Mumbai. And she's this girl who I first met when I first tripped down to South during the tsunami times. in 2006. I don't think she ever went back home to sleep. She was always there in the, and she would have a board behind her, and so meticulously, beautifully written out the to-do list for the week. And then one would see the ticks going up, ticks going up. So a wonderful person to get back. Who else do you know who has come back? Gar Wapasi. Welcome back. Welcome back to all those people who have come back. And many people in the different parts of the states, there are people who have come back in the last year or so. Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to be listening to your questions. Who else has got a question? People who come back?
Is there a tentative date for the move? You know, what's the?
Oh, I said that we're still looking at 15th to the 20th. Yeah. And maybe I should make this announcement also that we would like as much as possible it to be a paperless office. Okay. So we need to have sufficient automation to do that. And we also need to get rid of some of our files that we hold on to. You know, if you really look at wonderful thing about this office is that we got huge storage spaces, and the even more wonderful thing about the new office is that it has no spaces, which would allow us to shed our flab, shed things which you don't have to. Why do you need 350 files of employees? Sir, boliye. Vivian, boliye. They're going. Because they all can be stored, scanned and kept. Sorry?
I asked, files are going on, people are going.
Yeah, we are going to have a nice party just outside Nehru Place near that liquor shop. So we're not going to access there, and we are going to have a bonfire, and we're going to put all the files there and burn them up. Okay, and we're going to convert everything into soft, and have it in a server, have a backup somewhere else, etc., etc. Make sure that they are all there. What is the point in having it all in source? It also will, they are not fireproof. So we will do that. So we are going to come to each department and ask, how many files do you have that you don't need to take? And I'm going to say that you're not going to get enough cupboards there. You might as well. Finance is probably the only department that would need to, as per the statutory requirements, need to keep some hard copies of something for a certain period of time. Others, I don't think you have everything in soft. What do you say about that?
Almost all the contracts that you have in consultancy that you give,
On
hard copy, because one copy is
Sure.
signed with the.
Those are ongoing contracts. Yes, we need to keep. But the contracts is closed in the last 5 years. Wherever there is a donor requirement, we may have to keep.
So where is your compilation of all that? Because today you may say, okay, let's burn it.
We need to no. We need to index it. We need to look at it, index it, and scan it. All that is to be done.
That's a big exercise.
Yes, it is a big exercise.
Leading on it.
So who should lead on it according to you?
IT करेंगे तो सारा IT का वो है.
Seriously?
And that means a lot of load on
Seriously?
IT.
Okay, all of you think it is IT's job? I would say it's everybody's job, but somebody has to lead on it. Who should lead on it ideally? I'm asking for your. You said IT. I also said IT. In the morning, we decided that. So I'm glad you also think IT should lead on it. Okay, good. Any other questions? Any other questions? Questions? Clarifications? Okay. Anything that is making you worried, sad? Yes. Go ahead.
Publications which are stored just in the stairwells. What to do about that?
Okay. owners of publications, they will be coming to you. The people who will be leading on this will come to you and ask, what do we do with the 50,000 copies of annual report of 1952, which is there.
These ones have been.
Okay, 1952, we are not alive. We were, okay. So who will decide on that? Because it is not just annual report, example I gave, but there are many other publications that are there. So whoever has published it, if it is KM, we will come to you and ask, how many of these are lying here? Do we want it? You don't want it. What do you want to do with it?
Thomas has this thing like any publication, whichever person has got published, would need to keep copies of those. Especially if they are alive. And even if they are past publications, you have to keep a couple of copies because that's your institutional memory. And I don't know.
Okay, maybe a few copies of it, and obviously you have softer versions of that, I hope, somewhere. Again, that is another exercise to make sure that you have soft versions and some copies, maybe this is a good time to send it off to whoever you wanted to send it out to in the first place. But you need to really think what is the stuff that you want to carry there. You don't have enough space. So that is not the only reason. The other reason is that it's an inefficient use of space and time and resources. This paperwork, yeah. We don't want to be paper tigers. We want to be the real tigers. Yeah. Okay. No other questions then? No other questions? Ashutosh.
The archiving of the hard files, and we expect everyone to get back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, those files that you definitely want to keep, you must, since we've got everybody's approval on IT will be leading on it, with the support of and coordination closely of Ashutosh. Please reach out to either of them. For the hard copies, wonderful. But hard copies maybe you should take because he's a soft man. So you will take care of that, right? And so then we can manage, we can see how many racks we need, etc., shelves that we need. Is that okay, everybody? Team leaders, functional directors, please. These are the two. They will be reaching you. Yes.
Thomas, just a thought. It's that suppose, like, I'm just taking an example of annual report. So different departments have asked for different numbers. So suppose it's 300 for corporate. I'm just giving an example. So now I'm just concerned now where will they keep all those 300 annual reports?
That we'll find. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We need to know in advance how much space all of you need. That's why we need to find that out. You say that we need to keep 300 copies of annual report. We need to keep this many numbers of some publications that we have done. Yeah, books. We have space. These books will be moved.
If you run out, then some can go to DSPO.
Some can go to DSPO. Good idea. Now, and some of these books are kind of timed.
Yes, some are not relevant.
They are not relevant anymore, and we have not been buying books. Not only have we not been buying books, how many of you been using these books at all in this? I'd like to see a show of hands. Okay, Sudeep. There are 2. There are 3. Okay. What if we divided these books among 3 of them and they can take it home? There are only 3 of them using it. Is it really good use of the space, that much space in the new office, if only 3 of them are using it? Now everything is available on soft.
Actually, Thomas,
I stopped buying books ever since I don't know where my phone is. Everything is on Kindle.
Actually,
Everything is on Amazon. Yeah.
Thomas, I brought something from home and I've put it here.
You can take it back. Please, anybody who has brought things from home, please take it back. Okay.
NFLS की तुम्हारी किताबें पढ़ी हैं, these are valuable things, man. You can't just.
So no, sorry. Say the manner of speaking में बोल जाता है.
But you have to take the values on books.
Yes.
If anybody had any confusion, our books.
Yeah. That's how.
You show books.
Okay, so what I suggest is that since your department is in charge of the books, somebody should go through it and see which books are really relevant and we should keep. If you could really have an exercise, and then other books can go out.
There is an index. People can refer and.
Yes. Yeah, index. Maybe you want to send a soft index of that and let people say, I want this, I want this, I want this. If you don't want it. And that index, I hope it is in some form, around subject-wise, otherwise, etc. is easy for people.
It also shows which are the books in the same one.
Okay, all right.
And who's taken them?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, one other information that I want to pass on. We do have our own guest houses. That's going to disappear in Gurgaon. We will have guest houses at the same rate or at a cheaper rate. We have already identified 4 guest houses where people can stay at a good rate. Yeah, so we will just stop using them. And there are TVs and mattresses and buckets and everything else will be auctioned. Whoever wants can actually. Is that what we planned? Are we going to auction it? And ACs as well. Yeah. Okay, so since we don't have much time, any more questions other than Ashutosh? Anybody else? Mona, you have a question. Mona is wondering whether she would get a reception. You know, as modern offices have no reception.
Yeah, because you already told me there's no place. You're putting a tent for me.
Exactly. The child-friendly space. Yeah. So we are moving into our monthly event, which is the EGI Award. Before the EGI Award, I would like to talk about the Phoenix, but I will hold on to the Phoenix until our chairman arrives. So I would like him to also hear about the Phoenix. So we talk about it. So we move to the EGI, and I'm going to hand it over to Smita to do the work. Yeah. Who is going to be the EGI of May? Wait and watch. Oh yeah, sorry. Just one more thing. Nitik, if you could just tell them whatever you want to tell them. Yeah.
Hi everyone. There is International Day of Yoga coming up next month. In order to celebrate that, there is an organization called Isha Foundation, which
has nothing to do with our Isha.
Yeah.
We have an
So-
Isha.
Okay. So they are conducting free voluntary sessions with organizations, corporates, etc. It's a 90-minute session, 90. And so if people are interested here, if they would like to do it, it will be in batches of 20 to 30. So if you can let me know, I can organize it, and there is no religious connotation to it, so nothing of that sort. It's purely from the purpose of well-being and health and yoga
And exercise.
and exercise. And they will leave us. So, sorry. Timings and all, I'll have to give them as per our requirement. So you know, we basically need a room without furniture. You know, so we can again do it. Maybe once we move to Gurgaon, also in that baby room that we're talking about. Or
How about our terrace at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
So yeah, all those things we'll have to work out. I am not sure how is our guest house there. So and they will also leave us with some YouTube links and videos which we can refer to later, which will have 15 minutes, 21 minutes daily sessions. You know, it doesn't have to be a 90-minute session. It will leave you with something which is doable for you on a daily basis later on also. It is not just one-time thing. And so you can let me know, and if we can just raise hands and give me an idea how many people seem interested, so that I can.
One time.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So we'll work it out in a way that whether. Okay, great. Thank you.
It's a
Thank
good thing.
you.
It's a good thing. I think a lot of it.
So I think there are 2 options in which we can do it. One is that we do one session every morning, and 20 to 30 people we slot and they do it accordingly, or they do it in one day back to back with 20 to 30 people in different groups. So all that, you know, we have to work out some arrangement around that.
So we
Okay,
come and give
great.
you the names and then you make the names.
Yes, perfect. I'll have to organize a space first thing. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, good. After
Yes, only in case of compulsory. Yes,
Okay, here is an announcement that is coming your way.
Try again later. Thank you.
That is a Bathinda accent.
Oh.
डायलाटोन को कॉपी करने के लिए स्टार और नो दबा शरद लागू मैं अजीब गुड्डिया
Hello. Hello, Jatin.
Yes, Smita.
Hi, Jatin. Jatin, this is we are calling from the TWT. So the whole of HOs here.
Hi, Jatin.
Hi, Jatin.
Hi.
Last Eggy Award winner was Moinuddin for the month of April 2015. So for this month, he has awarded it to you.
Sorry, what did you say? What? Oh, Bathinda is lucky for you, yes.
So I'm reading it out, Jatin. I'm reading out the citation for you.
Okay.
Congrats, Jatin. I'm very delighted and privileged to present the Eggy Award to Jatin Mundar for the month of April 2015. Jatin has been working with Save the Children for more than 10 years now. He's a very sincere and dedicated professional and has significantly contributed towards the organization. He has been my mentor and a great support during the tsunami response program. I've learned immensely from working with him. I highly appreciate his integrity and dedication towards his work and the concern he has for each employee so that they can excel in their life. I would like to wish him all the very best in all his future endeavors. Thanks and regards, Moinuddin. A few words, Jatin.
Hello.
Jatin, can you speak?
I'm obliged with what he has said.
Okay.
So your frame and the citation will reach you soon.
Thank you very much.
I would like the new people to see what this looks like. The memento, the prize.
Jatin, people are saying nice ringtone.
Actually, this is Navdeep's phone. My phone, actually, we are out of office, we are in the field, and this is Navdeep's phone.
So are you ashamed of that ringtone? Here, Sudeep has been standing up and dancing and balle balle and all that.
But nice, that gave you a feeling of where we are, and,
Yes.
and I take this opportunity to invite people to this place.
Okay, good. I think again I've been talking about some fantastic projects, Jatin, and you know how our field makes us proud. And this morning I was at a project in Delhi early morning, and it really gave me goosebumps when I went through that project. And there are several wonderful things that are happening, and I've been challenging and encouraging our people here in the head office to actually start moving to the field and absorbing that. And you may come back very encouraged. So it's wonderful. And Jatin, again, congratulations to you. You've been one of our stable forces from back from what, tsunami days?
Yes.
Back from tsunami days. Yeah. So you've been there, and he was SPM for Calcutta, and then Bathinda, though it's not one of the top places for families to live in. Jatin said that he would move with his young family. Yeah, you know, his, how old is your son? You're
8 years now.
8 years now, and his wife to Bathinda. And thank you very much for being there. And let me also say that, yes, there are many other sacrificial people in this team here as well who do a lot of things. They, for instance, he just ran across to Nepal almost a few hours after the Nepal earthquake and reached there. He was sitting on an aircraft for 3 hours, hovering over Kathmandu for another 2 hours, and he reached and he sent us back. He was the first person from the global Save the Children team to be there and representing the whole of Save the Children. He gave, I don't know, about 200 interviews in that week that he was there with many channels. So many people do great jobs, and I think most of you, perhaps all of you, do wonderful job. But we must also appreciate a lot of sacrificial work that goes on in our field. So thank you again, Jatin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jatin.
All right. Now we have coffee and tea. Only tea. It's just coming in. And Mona, you have that key, no? Just lock everybody in.
Yes.
I was going to make a mention of one thing.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to mention that in our media monitoring for April,
yes,
and I think Mr. learned about it yesterday, we have captured almost 70% of the media space in April 2015, when you compare with other media in the child rights sector. It was down to 16%. So it just shows you how much work we have done.
Yes.
And a lot of work was in humanitarian media coverage.
That is why I kept telling you, guys, that we are in a good space. We are in a wonderful space, and we are only moving ahead. We are not pulling back at all. And media is just one reflection of that fact.
And to boast about one more thing, Thomas.
Yeah.
I was on a call, the Global Media Unit Steering Committee call yesterday, and everyone was raving about only one thing. That apart from all the CNN and BBC coverages, the biggest coverage that SOWM got this year was being on the top story on the front page of Times of India.
Excellent. So those of you are fence sitting, consider. तो फेंस में भी नहीं है, तो उधर गया. You want to consider?
To work this wonderful organization, and I have learned lots of things here, and I have made lots of good friends, and I really thank to our senior SMT team members like Dr. Sudhi, Thomas, Manavda, Tipali, and all SMT members, my Sonali, and all SMT members who support me time to time, and after working us as well.
You were so inefficient that you used to work with Anna Crocker.
And I really thanks to my all teammates, colleagues, and only state office finance persons as well, and our state office SPMs as well. It's really nice, wonderful journey for me, and it's really nice. Thank you.
Great.
Just to see if it's 26.
Oh, it is not 26. But no, I share it with Saddam Hussein.
28th April.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
My brother's
and Saddam Hussein is our common connection.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Just tell him, say hi to him. Cut the cake. Cut the cake.
Sing one birthday song for him.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear baby. Happy birthday to you. Oh.
Anybody want chocolate cake?
My team has already been ordered.
Okay, but seriously, we would like to see a yoga pose from you. And the others will have to do what they're good at.
Yoga session starts.
Aditi,
This will be the first session.
Prerna.
Had I been doing yoga, I would not be like this.
We got some lovely names. Aditi, Prerna, Raga, Soya. Is it Soya? It's Soya. So what are you waiting for?
I'm not going to before the yoga session starts. If I did, I would not be like this.
Yes.
Come on, let's all just sing a song together and be done with it. So that we can hide each other. We just thank happy birthday.
Another one.
Not national.
Yeah, the national.
Then we'll have Sanatana. Not national. One of the latest Bollywood numbers.
Yeah,
and you can dance to. Huh?
No way. It's home. Okay, can we go to the back?
Okay, so we get to the next part of the event, which is the annual awards. The annual awards, and we have our chair with us, Mr. Harpal Singh. Many of you have not seen, because those of you joined in the last few months may not have seen him, but may have heard of him, and would have definitely seen his picture in the annual report and at other places as well. Harpal has been on our board for 7 years, and has been the chair for 6 years. And those of you who know his background or don't know his background, let me just tell you that he has a long number of years in the corporate world, and it continues to be on a hustle. I don't know how he finds time, but several boards, both in the development space as well as in the corporate sector. He was the founder chairman actually of Fortis Healthcare, and continues to be on its board as well as related companies of that institution. He is also on the PHFI board, the Public Health Foundation of India, and closer home, he is also on the global board of Save the Children International. So we are proud to have our chair doing that role, and also keeping the India flag flying high, and in the international arena as well. Again, he's completely engaged with us. You probably see him very often walking into the office, and understands everything that's happening, including our dashboards, the dashboards that you prepare. The board sees it, but I must easily say he's the most engaged board member and board chair, and most engaged board chair probably that I have worked with including other organizations and I've been a part of. So thank you, Harpal, for being here today. And as I told you that today is important, and as we are going to celebrate that annual award function. Last year we started. Yeah. Last year we started this, and we have functional awards as well as a chairman's award. Functional award is actually recommended by each functions, and the process has been that there's several inputs of names which the SMT considers, and finally arrive through a consensus process. We arrive at who that functional awardee be. So we have, except for program. Program has got 2 functional awards because they are the largest numbers, 150 people or 154 people. And from each other function, we have one each. And then, of course, there's a chairman's award, which is the kind of the employee of the year award. And this is for the year of 2014. So we have some names here. Shall I? Would you like to take over from here?
Taking a chair. Thank God for you. So we are going to start with the long service awards. These are people who have completed a tenure of 5 years with Save the Children. We have
5 years as of March 31st of 2015.
So you have Mr. Dilip Mishra.
Ashutosh, some of the lights can be on now.
Yeah, we don't have to sit in absolute darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'd like to call.
Dilip, well done.
5 years completed this year. Yeah.
You have Neha Jain, who's not here. Is she here?
No, many of them are not here. So okay, we'll pass it on.
You have V.V. Ramachandra.
Rama is in here.
Yes.
Not here again. We have Sanjeev Rai.
Most of them, nobody.
The 5-year guys are not here.
Yeah.
And the rest are people from the states. We have Satya Prakash Patnaik, P. Narsaya, Ram Singh Hapawat, Harish Chanderia, and Neema Pant. Not in the order, but they're all there. So one gentleman has changed his name. You know him as something else, his name has changed. Functional awards. We're going to have the first functional award is the program award, and we'd like Sudeep to make the announcement.
I'm going to request Manav and Sajid.
Manav and Sajid.
So, both from one from Manav and one from Sajid.
Okay. So these are the 2 people. So do you want to read out?
Yeah. So Mufti, as you know, has been with us since 2006. He joined us in JK. Subsequently, he also worked with Bihar in the Kushi floods. Mainly has been with humanitarian causes there. Again, came back to JK to work on a very crucial assignment. Working with children in conflict. Perhaps the first time we worked with children in such a difficult circumstances, and that was something that established us in J&K as one of the lead child rights organization, and we still have kind of leveraged a lot of kind of positioning out of those efforts that were there. But I think out of everything that Mufti has done till now in his tenure with us, the best came in last year when we had our office, our cars, our staff, everything in water, and we didn't know, and most of the whole city in water, and didn't know where to start off. We mounted perhaps the most largest of the humanitarian programs in our history, 30 crores, 6 districts, and believe it, the J&K government, the NGO forums, UNICEF, you name it, everybody believes that we have been the most efficient, the first and most efficient of the organizations. We also, J&K was also a different leaf in our whole design of programs, because this time was the first time when we tried out with a pilot of having a vertical led by a team leader, separate of the state office, leading the whole operations. And Mufti, being the team leader, has never kind of allowed us to even look at and verify whether it is good or not. It has come out very well, and other than that, Mufti has been somebody who's been very silent, very kind of unlike humanitarian aid workers generally, that who's like really. So it's been very fortunate for the team here, overall family and J&K, to have somebody like that with us. We are very glad to have you as nominated for the functional level. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done. Keep it up. Lovely.
Well done, Mufti.
Second award, this is someone called Nima Pant, and she's also been awarded for the 5-year completing 5 years with Save the Children. Nima is, I think, one of the like a kind of she's leading one of the pioneering piece of work, and which has been now on the final stage of its actually approval of being a signature program. So the Child Sensitive Social Protection Program that we are implementing in Rajasthan and Bihar, and the Rajasthan operations primarily, like she has started from the scratches, and this is one of the also project which is this is a direct implementation project. So we do not work with any partner, but we work directly with a large team. So she leads that team, and then this is also one of the kind of very hardship kind of posting, you can say. She and the entire team stays in Dungarpur, and then lead and manage and this operation. So in terms of her kind of commitment, perseverance, and kind of also like ensuring like every pieces, also like the small fragments, and bringing it together, and to ensure that like the quality, like because one of the key pieces of the signature program is ensuring the quality, and so this is something I think as I said, like mentioned, that is we are at the stage where like about to get the final clearance from the SCI International. So like wish all the best to the project, to Nima and the team, and her kind of contribution to the project, as well as to the Save the Children and the larger organization. So we wish all the best to Nima, and best of luck to the project Child Sensitive Social Protection.
Nima actually was here yesterday, and she's been a bit unwell and had to go back.
So I just want to say that I visited the Dungarpur project and had occasion to sort of get out right there out in the field, working with some of the orphan children there. We are also working with some of the women groups and I tell you, it's a very, very impressive program. And you come away feeling hugely sort of satisfied, hugely encouraged, and rather impressed by the work that is being done there. So really, I must say that it's great stuff. So will you please, especially from my side, convey to Nima that this is great work. So thank you for that.
So the next nomination is for ACC, which goes to Mr. Hemant Acharya.
I have a very brief citation for him. Hemant has exhibited great feats in campaigning in the state of Rajasthan. He is creative and excels in communication skills, and has been successfully and effectively. He brought laurels and recognition to Save the Children, not only in Rajasthan, but he was also called upon by National Health Mission of Madhya Pradesh to advise their communication elements of programs. So that is the kind of recognition that he has brought to the organization. He has consistently used his people skills to cultivate champions for the issues across sectors of politics, media, celebrities, raising the profile of the issue and the organization to a new height. Needless to say, he is a highly motivated team member and an asset to the organization by all standards.
Hemant is currently in Singapore, so he asked the colleague knowledge management.
Hi, Prasan. Ajay.
I think everybody knows Prasan, and he is a person who has been a cornerstone for research. And 2014 has been a very big year for research. And we've done two flagship reports, one of which has already been published. How many of you have seen the WINGS report? And what do you have to say about it?
Excellent.
We can only say after they read it.
No, everybody is. So, I mean, this is that despite the pressure, despite the fact that we had very short timelines, despite everything, I think Prasan, eye on the detail, on the quality has always been there. And this is why I think he really deserves this one.
Congratulations, sir. This is really, really great. It's a great one. It's really a great report. Thanks. Great report.
So the next award is for HR and admin, and we are recognizing two people, Bashir and Gulzar. So last year, during the Jammu floods, our cars went underwater. Two of our Scorpios were underwater for about a month. These two gentlemen got that car out of the water. They dismantled it, actually put it out in the sun for some time, and put it back together again.
Without going into a workshop.
Without going into a workshop. We thank you, and
either one of them?
Each one.
Congratulations. Very good. Very good. Very good.
The next award is for RM. The award goes to our team. I will have to read the citation since I don't think anybody is here. Aditi has been working with us since December 2013 and joined us in donor development. She has helped the RM in the past year and a half in growing its portfolio. She has been instrumental in creating this year's annual report that has won us an accolade among staff and donors alike. Aditi has stepped up to take on additional roles whenever the organizations needed and has been managing 3 portfolios since mid of last year. She's a team player and very warm towards her colleagues and vendors. She believes in the mantra that for a successful team is to have brave and creative team members who are supportive to each other. She has a smile that is infectious and always carries additional breakfast and lunch for all her colleagues. That is why I am reading it out. In her spare time, she likes to read, cook, and make funny videos on. Well done, Aditi.
I have to add about the smile at the last meeting of the board. She, of course, with rather great confidence, sort of espoused whatever it is she was espousing. But I was sort of wondering at that time, as to how can she keep on smiling and still be talking. So congratulations on that. Thank you.
Finally, I would like to ask Sonali to please announce the finance and IT.
So, as you all know, he is Mr. Dilip Kumar Misra. This Kumar we have added. So Dilip is, and I'm just reading a small citation for you. Dilip is associated with SCBR since 2010. Throughout this period, he has been working consistently well on the regular tactical assignments, particularly on grants and donor compliances. So his previous decade-long experience in development sector as well witness his passion for social work in the field he can contribute better, that is in finance. His personality and more pleasant attitude at work is a clear distinguisher as well. You are. At times when it required for extended effort to meet any deadline, Dilip's unconditional presence was always encouraging. I personally thank you for that. Being a brilliant team player, his willingness to learn and go extra mile to get things done, widely acceptable in peers as well across state and department personnel, depicts his honest intention to serve this organization better. This is hence our pleasure to nominate Dilip Misra for the Department of Finance Award 2007.
How did they, under what sort of conditionality was Kumar added?
Because
what the provocation?
So he's there for almost every difficult time that we face. So
And
that's
he
why-
considers himself always 18 years old.
Always.
So the Kumar addition is a sort of a citation
you-
of availability.
You
Thank you. Well done. Well done. Well done.
So we finished our functional awards. Now we have our final award, which is the Chairman's Award. So I'd like Thomas, please. You want me to take it there? Or?
Okay, I'll talk about it. Maybe not exactly the words that is written there. What is fresh in my mind is this morning we had an early start. So he picked me at Hoskas metro station around 7:30, and we went to Okla, where we run a program, which has actually won us an award for the second consecutive time at the members meeting, which is happening next week. Both Harpal and I are going to take part, and that program, as I was telling some of you before, you go there and you really feel proud that you're working for Save the Children. It kind of gives you goosebumps. It's wonderful. Every element, I mean, we talk about innovation, technological innovation, it is there. In fact, they shot a video of me, and what I said was that innovation is the key to sanitation and hence transformation. And I had this card in my hand which I swiped on a water ATM machine in a toilet complex in a slum cluster in India at a 46 degree centigrade outside, and I drank from it and it was refreshing, and it was good. That is one of the technological innovations. Second technological innovation of the project, there is a biodigester. All the fecal matter goes into a biodigester, and they add some bacteria to it, and it produces, it swells up, and it has some gas, and that gas is collected in cylinders, which is connected to a generator to generate power for that toilet complex. And that toilet complex itself has undergone transformation. And if you look at it 2 years back, the government machinery that is at work there is, the way it operates is that it gives it to contractors, and the contractors run it. And within no time, that place would run down, and it was completely dilapidated, that complex a few months ago, and broken down, and that place had become a place for antisocial elements and all kinds of drug dealings, etc., happening at that place. So there is huge transformation that has happened at that place now. And when you go to a slum place, and sometimes when you go to the toilets, you get a offensive smell. This place, there's no smell, and it's still a lot of good work under progress. They are actually using that vermicompost to create a rose garden around it. It's just wonderful. It's so wonderful. It's serving those communities there. And more interestingly, this project now is being taken up by the government. They're advising other clusters to look at this model. And when it comes to the success of that, I think it's only Sanjeev who did it. He's an unassuming, kind of understated character, but he has really made us proud, especially going to the Phoenix competition. We tried to get him to South Africa, but there was absolutely no space. And I have this duty on your behalf. I'll be presenting what I saw this morning to that audience of Save the Children International members, as well as other employees. Yeah. So thank you very much, Sanjeev. So I'm requesting Mr. Harpal Singh to definitely say a few words to us.
First of all those who have been recognized today, really, really congratulations from the bottom of one's heart. And I'm sure that I speak on behalf of everybody here as to how proud we are that many of you who have won awards today. So well done. Just keep up the good work. But I think every time somebody from a family gets an award, actually it's the whole family that gets awarded. So may I, on the second round, sort of applaud all of you who are members of the family, that your family members have been awarded. So many of us, I would think that almost all of us are here, and we work in this space, not for the fact of what might be typical reasons why people go out and work, but for something more than what are the typical reasons why people go out to work, which is oftentimes to earn a salary and possibly acquire many other sort of accolades and whatever. But there is something different about why we come to Save the Children and such like institutions. And I do believe that the return here is a return to the nourishment of the soul. There's something soul stirring and there's something soul nourishing about the work that we do. And I can tell you that I know that you probably do that much more because you're living it on a daily basis. But every time I go to a program, and I don't go to too many, I should be going to more than I do, But every time I go to a program, it keeps me going for the next 6 months. Because I can quote those programs over and over again, and I still remember the program that we went to
Calcutta, then Banswara.
Calcutta and Banswara, and then recently to Dungarpur. And what can be more amazing than at this recent Dungarpur visit? Here we are sitting with a group of women that we've been working with, and each one of them, incidentally, about 40 of them there, and each one of them had a bank account. And this is deep tribal territory. And this is doing work well before the Prime Minister's program came about. And that was the good part of the story. Now, in those areas, incidentally, you don't get a loan if you have an outstanding loan. You don't get a second loan if you have an outstanding loan. So I asked one of the women, I said, so in fact, she was rather sort of proactive, and she wanted to say a few words, which she did. And then I asked her, so what did you, she said, you know, I've taken 3 loans. She's taken 3 loans over 3.5 years, which means that she paid every single one of them before she got the 3rd one. And I said, so what did you take your first loan for? And she said, I took my first loan for that the 1 acre, rather dry, very useless, relatively less productive land. She took her first loan to bore a well in her property. And she then took a second loan. And I said, what did you take the second loan for? And she said, the second loan I took, I bought some livestock. So she bought, I think, some goats and a cow. And then the really fun part was, and really inspiring was, so I said, what did you take the 3rd loan? And mind you, she's paid back all these loans in a year. And so I said, what did you take your 3rd loan for? And she said, my 3rd loan is really to send my daughter to college. And just see the kind of sort of change that will happen to that rather remote family, disadvantaged in many ways. And just by the work that we do there, how much we sort of enlarge their lives in very, very substantive ways. And I don't think we should entirely take the credit, because obviously it takes 2 hands, and it's that woman, that lady who goes out there and is proactive about doing the thing that she has to do. But obviously we provide the trigger and we provide the nourishment. So every time I go, there's always a story that is a wonderful story that one takes away from these initiatives. I took my granddaughter, incidentally, who's 11 years old, for this Dungarpur visit, and we were with the orphan children. And I was sort of bending over and telling her, I said, have you seen the smiles on these children's faces? And how many times have we had your friends over for tea at our place, and we don't see the same smiles? And these are the most disadvantaged. And you know, she talked about that 3 times after her return to me. She says, Nana, you know, you were absolutely right. And that's the quality, and how invigorating it is to see disadvantaged children, that little extra, and it changes lives. And I think so. Therefore, it's a really, really great work that, and I can tell you this, that this is the story of Save the Children around the world, 120 countries. And we bring smiles to people's faces. You know, we enliven and enlarge the lives of very, very disadvantaged communities across the world. And that really is a great story for ourselves as much as for the people we work with. I also want to say to you that in the global movement of Save the Children, in a mere short, remember the movement is almost 100 years old now. Will shortly be hitting that century mark. But in a very short 7-8 years, since 2008, Save the Children India has really, really put itself right on top there in terms of recognition, appreciation for the kind of work that we do here. And there are not too many other examples of this kind of an extraordinary success. And frankly, for that, I'd like to sort of give you all a hand and say, well done, guys. And let me tell you, you know, amongst the global movement, there are 4 countries that were selected as countries of future leaders. And that was Brazil, India, China, and Russia. South Africa. And I have to say that this idea that we need to sort of encourage and motivate to have these future leaders sort of begin to create the competencies to become future leaders and to demonstrate that ability, I can tell you without question, India stands way ahead of any of the other three who have been identified and who have been getting support from the central movement, but we stand way ahead of it. So I just want to thank you also for another thing. That some of the reasons why we can walk somewhat tall in the global movement is because of you guys. So you guys are doing great work. That's why some of us enjoy the kind of stature that we do enjoy in the global movement. I also want to say that we are, as you know, in the midst of a new strategic time frame and a strategic process that we are all involved with. We in India are certainly doing that for the 2016-2019, 18 time span, and also looking at the somewhat larger, longer-term vision of 2030. I just believe fundamentally that in the next 5 to 7 years, I can see India rubbing shoulders with the United States and the United Kingdom in the kind of work that they do for children around the world. And I'm quite confident that we'll do that. And I do believe some of the most innovative work, some of the examples that I think Thomas gave us, some of the most innovative work in this arena will come out of India. So I just want to encourage you all to keep on pressing on the pedal for looking at how can we do things different, how can we do things more effectively, how can we deliver more for children. And I think, again, I'm of course the inveterate Indian optimist, so everybody says to me that you're sometimes ridiculously optimistic about India, but that's what to do, that's the DNA. And I do believe that innovation in this space in very significant ways will come from India. So you have a very heavy responsibility on your shoulders to be hugely innovative, but I also think this is a wonderful landscape for innovation. So please do work hard at that, because what we want to be able to demonstrate is that if there is a given set of resources, that if anybody can take the maximum mileage out of that, well, just guys, go to India and say we'll teach you the way. That's what we want, that we want to show the world that we do some great innovative work, and for every dollar spent, every rupee spent, they get the maximum mileage. And I hope that we will do that. I'm quite sure we will do that. We've demonstrated our ability for doing that. So at the global level, as I said, I also want to tell you that we have nowadays huge presence for all the work that you all do, and I think Thomas, as you know, is a member of the CEO group, which is a 9-member, 9 is it?
7, yeah, but
9.
7 plus 2, 9, yeah.
It's a 9-member group of all the big, say, institutions like the US, the UK, Sweden, Norway, and the like. But amongst that lot, Thomas's voice carries a great distance. And quite apart from the fact that he talks loudly, but that's but it carries long distance for the fact that everybody there recognizes that this is a voice that one speaking on behalf of some very disadvantaged children, and we have the largest single cohort of such children of any country in the world, and so it's a voice in support of that. But it's also is an empathetic and sensitive voice, and I think in that sense again, for that reason, it's not surprising that he carries that weight and gravitas in the global movement. I'm sort of personally, I have to say, rather humbled and rather sort of inspired to see that I have such wonderful colleagues in the organization. So thank you very much, all of you, for being with us, and thank you very much for all the work that you do. And I'm sure that quite apart from how much we might sort of say to each other, you have a very, very, very large number of people out there, families and children and others, who must really be praying and to use an Indian terminology, there is nothing more powerful than getting the dua. For all of us who understand the word, the dua of those who pray for you, and you're getting all those prayers. So congratulations, keep it up, and let's make sure that by next year we're able to share about 3-4 other new innovative ideas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Harpal, for those comments. Well, I'm letting you go before 6. I promised you. Yeah. So the meeting is over. Unless you guys have anything to add. Photograph. Photograph with all the award winners. If they could come to the front here.
And maybe a deep photograph of everybody.
That also, we need a professional photographer.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave, you have a camera?
Yeah, so leave it. Take this, we are getting a camera.